Wanted to kick off with a little bit of an update as to what some things that Plug and Play is doing in response to the whole COVID-19. I do invite all of you guys to check out our new landing page, pnptc.com/COVID-19. From there, we have been uploading a bunch of ebooks, different webinars on how different leaders are responding to the crisis, and other startup lists and other webinars of great new technologies that we're seeing really get quite a bit more interest during these times. So I definitely invite everyone to check it out and let us know what you think. Moving forward, just some upcoming events that we have. I just wanted to highlight tomorrow we actually have our Smart Cities Innovation Pitch Day. And this will be the same time as this event right now, from about 8 to 9:30 local West Coast time here. The following week, we're actually setting up a fireside chat with the CTO of Man and Hummel. Again, to kind of go over his response to some of the coronavirus, what Man and Hummel is doing, kind of how they plan to also kind of get out of the crisis afterwards. I highlighted two events, April 15th and April 22nd. These are two of our other corporate reverse pitch events. And you'll see one for mobility and one for energy. And then two other events, one around consumer signals. Again, how to really predict the demand during such a unprecedented time. And then lastly, end of April here, we have an event called Cutting Costs in Today's Oil Patch. And again, with the oil crisis as well, kind of good on the gas tank, but not very good for a lot of our oil and gas partners. And so kind of finding ways to cut costs and create more efficiencies during that time. Now today, the agenda, kind of what you guys can expect. I'll jump off in just a minute here, so you won't hear too much more of me, but really wanted to spend about 10 minutes with each of these four partners here, Kärcher, Kojima, Daikin, and Oerlikon. Each presentation will be about 7 or 8 minutes, and we'll have a couple minutes of Q&A afterwards. So again, I direct everyone to ask any of their questions for the presenters in the Q&A box. We'll do our best to answer as much as we can. Any of the remaining questions, I've asked the presenters also kind of type in the answers and the response there. So we should be able to get a lot of good feedback there for you guys. And then lastly, everyone is muted. Obviously, we'll unmute the presenters during the Q&A, so we're able to answer any of the questions live. Again, kind of mentioned that each presentation is about 7 to 8 minutes. And one last time, kind of directing all of the questions down into the Q&A box. If it doesn't get into the Q&A box, I'm afraid that we won't be able to answer it. So I'll direct all of the questions there. This is typically where I ask if anyone has any questions. But with that, I think we'll go ahead and kick it right off. So the first presenter, we have Dylan Brownstein with Kärcher.
Hello, and thank you for having me this morning. My name is Dylan, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about Kärcher, who we are, and what we do. For those of you who are not familiar with Kärcher, we're the world's largest manufacturer of cleaning supplies and equipment, ranging from small household vacuums like you might have in your own house, all the way up to large commercial applications and appliances. In 1962, Kärcher set up our first international subdivision, headquartered in France. Since then, we've grown tremendously, and we've always had a focus on international business. Because of that, we've now grown to over 120 companies that are available in 70 countries worldwide. And where we can't have our own companies, we make sure that we have trade partnerships, over 40,000 of them, that help us sell our products. And all of this is to get closer to the customers, as they're one of our most important stakeholders and our biggest value drivers at the company. By providing so many channels to our customers to access our products, we have seen growth in our company. And in the last 10 years, since beginning our focus on customers, we've seen over 65% growth. We also have a very international presence, and that has resulted in over 85% of all of our sales being foreign. Sales are roughly divided between our professional and our home and garden products, each of which make up about 50% of our revenues. Our professional products are meant to be for the B2B sector, while our home and garden products are for the B2C sector. And despite overall difficult economic conditions in Germany these last few years, we consistently post new record sales volumes. Kärcher is always making new developments in cleaning technology and continuously evolving existing technologies and devices. And this is no accident, but the result of a clearly defined and controlled process. Right now, over 1,000 employees worldwide work on our innovation processes, most of which is in the branch of research and development. And at any given time, we have over 300 innovation projects running simultaneously, and up to 100 new products are put on the market each year. We do not research every possible direction, but instead focus on forward-looking technologies and markets that allow us to advance development there. The success of this innovation process is evident. Kärcher holds well above 600 active patents and has filed over 1,800 patents in our lifetime. Here you can see some examples of our home and garden products, which are part of our consumer product line. As you can see, we have vacuums. We do both indoor and outdoor vacuums, pressure washers. We do both electrical and gas pressure washers. Those kind of provide the core part of the Kärcher business. We also have electrical mops, steam cleaners, and a whole variety of other home cleaning devices that you would be familiar with. Moving on, here you can see some examples of our professional products. Our professional products make up approximately 50% of all of our revenues and range from things such as pressure washers at the core of our business to scrubber dryers, industrial vacuum cleaners, street sweepers, and even large machinery such as car washes. At Kärcher, we like to think that we revolve around our customers, and in doing so, our online store or on Salesforce, as well as at our own Kärcher centers, operated by us or our partners. And lastly, at mass market retailers for electronics, general goods, as well as web stores. I'm now going to move on to Kärcher New Ventures. Kärcher New Ventures is the innovation and venture capital part of Kärcher. We have offices in Germany and Silicon Valley, as well as team members in China. Our goal is to engage and work with as many startups that can contribute to our business as possible. When it comes to investments and partnerships, Kärcher New Ventures focuses on 4 main topics: smart cleaning, robotics, new cleaning methods, and new business models. Smart cleaning are intelligent new solutions that we can use to make cleaning more efficient and more effective. This is often with IoT devices, AI built in, or some form of automation. Robotics are often smart cleaning as well, but as there's such a large industry, it's another focus area for us. This is somewhere we've been very active recently, both internally developing our own robotic systems and externally partnering with startups and making investments to help build our next generation of internal systems. Next, we have new cleaning methods, which is kind of a niche area for startups, but these are companies that are actually building. Lastly, we look for new business models. And basically this means we're looking to find technologies that we can leverage to have new ways to share our products with our customers, whether that be sharing platforms, subscription methods, or rental services or something new. That's another focus area for us. As far as our investment guidelines, we invest kind of in early stage companies. So usually we look at seed and Series A, sometimes all the way up to Series B, but usually that'll only be if we were already involved with a company up until that point. We also shoot for 5 to 25% of the company's equity by the time we've completed all our investments with them, and we're investing anywhere from €500,000 to 10 million euros over an investment cycle with any company. We don't have global restrictions. We have offices in Germany, Silicon Valley, and a satellite office in China that are all doing work on the venture projects. And as far as companies go, we're looking for companies that are scalable and provide completely innovative and new technologies, as well as teams that are subject matter experts and have very strong connections to both their respective industries and their other founders. So when it comes to investments and partnerships and evaluating those, strategic alignment becomes everything. We choose to invest or partner with startups based on how startups fit into Kärcher. For example, companies that can help with internal processes, such as manufacturing, sales, customer support, packaging, things like that, logistics, those are very attractive partnerships cases for us, and there's a lot of those companies out there that we'd love to work with. As far as the product goes and companies that are building products themselves or enabling products, those can go either way for us. We can either do partnerships, or if it's a major realignment of a product and it's very aligned with us personally, that might be a good investment case. And lastly, when a startup provides a new solution or a new product that we can add as a standalone Kärcher portfolio product, that is very attractive to us. And so that is usually a very niche company that's already within the cleaning space and is providing new technologies that are not currently available on the market elsewhere. Thank you all for having me here. And if Kärcher seems like it might be an interesting company for partnerships or developments with, please feel free to reach out to either myself or Florian. We both work in the plug and play office and are happy to meet with anyone who is interested. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dylan. A few questions here that I did want to ask you. We have one of them that says, are there already connected smart products for Kärcher? If so, we would like to retail these products. They're one of the biggest e-retailers in the US for IoT products. So can maybe you talk a little bit around the connected smart products you guys already have or maybe are developing?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And Kärcher is really starting to get into the IoT space. So as far as retailing products right now, we don't have a lot on the market, but we are working a lot with startups actually to bring products to the market. And unfortunately, a lot of that isn't retail yet. So a lot of that is on the B2B side and our professional aspect. But in the coming quarters, I think you'll start to see more and more IoT products coming out of Kärcher.
Fantastic. Another question, what's the role between kind of the Silicon Valley office as well as, you guys are based in Germany. I know a lot of our partners as well have kind of these satellite offices. So I guess, how does it work for you guys here in Silicon Valley, and how does that relationship look like back to Germany?
Yeah, so our corporate headquarters are in Germany, in Winnenden. So our first kind of venture office when we were set up, I want to say about 4 years ago, was situated there. And as we grew and gained more knowledge and more ideas, we wanted to expand. And so it kind of made sense to open our next location in Silicon Valley to have access to just a much larger ecosystem for startups, such as Plug and Play, for example. But Germany still stays very close to kind of our core company. So they have a lot of interaction with kind of our executive board members, things like that. But we work closely together virtually and a lot of travel as well. So we're definitely connected and know what's going on with each other's projects.
Makes sense. And another question here, kind of coming in around investments in IoT security companies. Maybe can you talk a little bit on kind of your investment thesis, kind of where you're looking to invest in that side?
Yeah, so investments for us have to be extremely strategically driven. So basically, they basically have to be a cleaning product or provide some new form of cleaning for us. So for something like IoT security, that's going to look more like a partnership because we don't have core products in that area. But as we're developing IoT products, security is definitely a concern for us. And so I think partnerships are very interesting for us in that area.
Okay, maybe just one last question. Circling back to kind of the COVID-19, after all this has happened, has it changed your guys' focus at all? And what is, some of the more urgent, kind of pressing issues you guys are looking to upgrade the solutions for now?
Yeah, so, I mean, as a cleaning company, I think we have a part to play in this whole COVID situation, trying to keep facilities clean, public areas cleaner. And so we've kind of had a bit of a focus shift towards sanitation and hygiene products, especially automated sanitation. So ways in which we can protect public spaces. And that's been a recent focus of us since this has started.
Awesome. Definitely appreciate it. I think that wraps up. I'm going to get onto our next presenter here. Before I do so, I definitely apologize. Want to get a few housekeeping things taken care of on my side so I can get back to the presentation. Awesome. So I think with that, we'll kick it off with Yuji with Kojima.
This is Yuji from Kojima. It is such an honor to be here. We belong to real estate and construction vertical. However, the plug and play team helped me getting a chance to do the pitch today. We are a Japan-based general contractor. Our main business field is in construction, covering most of the type of the project, infrastructures, and commercials. We also have real estate development, as well as design and engineering team. Global-wise, covering several areas, pretty active in the US. Here are some business areas we focus on. Traffic infrastructure, disaster management are the main area in the civil side. For commercials, life and medical, offices, and plants. Since we have a wide variety of business fields, this makes us capable to cover the entire life cycle of the construction, starting from the planning, designing, of course, the main parts as a construction, and then all the way to the operations and maintenances. We would like to extend more into the later stages. Also, we have our own in-house R&D team leading the technology development in the industry. Our core development. The concept here is CAF, as a construction as a factory. The whole idea here is to optimize the way of doing the construction by bringing in the factory-wise operation. The key part is the automation. We have started such development for more than 10 years ago, making the construction vehicle work without the operator having on board. We are launching this system from this summer, 2020, having 23 machines working together in a dam project. We are also expanding this into the other areas, such as tunnels, concrete works, and it's much challenging since more human involved in the operation. Some of the problems shown here is why we started this open innovation. Labor shortage is quite serious in Japan. Many people will be retiring soon, losing a great amount of workforce. More importantly, losing the great skills and the knowledges. Public investment in Japan is shrinking. Still, we need to sustain the society. So we need to look into other business opportunities. To do this, most of the construction works need to improve the productivity, while several aspects holding this back. Ultimately, overcoming this problem will give us a huge competitive advantage to serve to the society more and more. Our tech focus is in construction as a factory, especially in automation. But the key idea here is not just making everything into automation. What we really want to do is to optimize the way of doing the construction. To do this, we break down all the activity into components, creating the detailed workflow manual, and then capture all the data on top of the manual. This will give us a deep understanding of the process, giving us a clue what to improve. The orange part shows this. If there is any part we can improve, as shown in the green part, we modify it. Ultimately, on the bottom blue part, we implement automation on top of this. So, looking the way into automation creates the bottom line of the optimization. Two things we like to improve. One is about the production, which is quite obvious. To achieve this, improving the management side is essential, which sits on the bottom to support the overall improvement by giving us the visualizations and capability to capture the data and know-how. Having been said that, numerous technology could be applied, such as robotics, sensing technologies, workflow management, and so on and so forth. This is our innovation and transformation team, started as a ground-up process, having a strong passion to bring in the innovation into Kojima. On the right-hand side, we have a team based here, looking for the solution as a first contact. Connecting to the team in Japan, which will handle the early step of the pilots. Our goal is to achieve innovation, so working closely with our core team in business unit and R&D team is important. We put a lot of effort changing the mindset by having a great help of the entrepreneur working together. I would like to show some case studies about the POC we had, having the help from Plug and Play. First case was with Reflective AI, having a computer vision solution. We met with them in selection day last year. They belong to IoT vertical, which we were not in. However, we were able to approach and having a good meeting with our team from Japan, agreed to do a POC and then finished creating a minimal viable product. What we did here was tracking the work activity in the actual project. What I want to focus here is that they were truly a manufacturer-focused startup. After having a numerous meeting with them, we were able to work together. They saw a great potential utilizing their proprietary knowledge to make it work in construction. They did a great research by meeting so many construction companies to reach to this stage. Next is a company called Resonine, computer vision AR solution. We were able to meet them in a fall selection day last year, this time in real estate and construction vertical. However, ironically, they were not selected in the program. But we were at least connected and discussed for the potential use cases. When the US team came here, the synergy happened. Very quickly, agreed to work, executed in roughly 2 months. It is now going to proceed it in Japan, having a good, quick, fruitful pilot with them in the US. What we are looking for is a potential solution and potential partner. The term potential is important. We are actually vertical agnostic, very much open to explore the technology, thinking thoroughly how it could be applied into our business as a potential. Unexpected discovery is exciting part. The solution does not have to directly solve our problem. Again, the potential is the point. Having a quick POC is great, but having a long-term relation is also very welcome. We hope that solution can give an impact to the society from the construction perspective. How we work, we would like to set up a meeting to provide more information from us so that we can brainstorm the use cases and then move on to the pilot, utilizing the space, not just going for the solution, but establishing the great relationships and understanding. We can use our project sites or our labs to use as a test field, which I believe is a good advantage. I am very much open to talk with anyone who has the potential to work on it. Even not having any potential is great. Please contact me for this email or connect me via LinkedIn. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Yuji. Let me make sure we have. Yuji, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Perfect, perfect. So one of the questions we have here states, given the labor shortage and automation initiatives, can you provide some examples or approach to monitor for site safety, compliance to SOPs using AI or computer vision?
Great. So I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the term SOPs, but yes, we have a lot of approach looking for the site safety, especially for the collision between the construction vehicle and the workers. So one approach now we are doing is using the like a site webcam, monitoring the entire site and finding a potential like a collision possibility from there, or mounting something on board to the construction vehicle so that it can avoid the collision, something like that.
That makes sense. I know you had a good slide over there. I think in 2020, 2023, having all of the tractors kind of hooked up and talking to each other. Another question here, more around the timeline to pilot with a startup. I guess, what is the typical time to pilot with a startup?
To start the pilot?
Yeah.
So it really depends on the type of the pilot in terms of the size or how difficult it is or how relevant to our business unit is working on. So it really depends on, but if it is kind of small or easy way, it can already start in a month or like that. But if we have to go a little bit more in detail, it may take longer. So it really depends, but for myself, I try to push into our team so that our team in Japan has a good capability to run the pilot like that, and as well as if there is a good solution to match it in the U.S., the team in the U.S. can also take care of it. So like very much several types of it happens. Yeah.
Okay, maybe more. I guess a little bit more of a technical question. How important is it to process the data in real time that you're collecting? Do you require like edge or cloud processing?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That again goes back to the use cases. So if, for example, more on the safety side, of course, it has to be in the real time. If it is like capturing the data set, it can be on the cloud, or it can process afterwards. At least if it can give us the data. So it really depends on the type of the thing that we want to solve.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only last question I want to ask here before we run out of time. Are you using any PLM platform as a central knowledge base for your manuals and revising the manuals in your engineering process? So kind of a central knowledge base.
Let me see. So no, we're not using any of this type of thing. Like we keep it internally, and this is our challenge actually. So how we can really utilize the way we can do. So we are kind of doing internally of this process. So if we can find some good solution for this, it might be really great. But this is our actual challenge that we are facing.
Awesome. Well, Yuji, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Yep.
Up next, we have Haruka with Daikin.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for attending our reverse speech, and thank you for having me here. My name is Haruka from Daikin Open Innovation Lab, Silicon Valley. I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. Today, let me introduce what is Daikin, our core products, our focusing area, collaboration process, our case studies, and our requests. First, for short, Daikin is a global #1 air conditioning company. Our headquarters is located in Osaka, Japan, and our business covers more than 150 countries. 80% of our business and 80% of our employees are outside Japan. Our core products are air conditioning systems for residential, commercial, and industrial buildings. Our air conditioning systems are installed all over the world, including customers such as World Trade Center, Freedom Tower in New York, and not just buildings, but infrastructures such as subway systems and many commercial buildings of all sizes. In Silicon Valley, we'd like to collaborate with the brightest minds to build a sustainable, comfortable, and healthier society. Our focusing areas are these 4 categories: environment, energy, comfortable air, and smart living. We are looking for creative solutions with using technologies in the field of AI and IoT in Silicon Valley. For comfortable air, especially COVID-19, we are discussing internally how we can contribute to this difficult situation. And we, Open Innovation Lab Silicon Valley, has been establishing collaboration process called Daikin Innovation Pipeline. Our process starts from creating collaboration theme based on our focusing areas. And after that, we start research to partners and technologies. This research process is basically operated with the help of plug and play. I will explain this process in next slide. And after the partner selection, we start proof of concept, POC, and experimentation. During the POC, we can offer engineering support and technology feedback to you as a market leader. And you can also use our IoT cloud platform for data analysis. After that, if the POC goes well, your ideas or technologies will be commercialized all over the world with Daikin's global network. And this is our partner selection process called Daikin Challenge. We did Daikin Challenge twice, and let me introduce our first case. We set the collaboration theme as sensing technology and data analysis, and we sent invitations to 43 startups with the help of plug and play. And 17 startups replied with their ideas. And after the paper selection, we discussed with 10 startups. and 6 startups made a final pitch to our executives. Finally, 5 startups won and started POC with Daikin. And now we implemented POCs and made go or stop decision to commercialize. Some successful cases have entered into the next stage of contracting for commercialization. This Daikin challenge will take 3 months in general. And here is one of the case studies of our collaboration with startup. Oerlikon is a startup based in France, and we met them at Plug and Play. We collaborate with them to create air quality related solutions with using Oerlikon's air quality sensing technologies. We supported their development, and after the co-development, we deployed and tested more than 100 sensors in multiple locations through Daikin's global network. In conclusion, here are examples of technologies we are looking for. AirTech. This might be Daikin's unique word. AirTech means all technologies, sensors, or ideas to develop comfortable air environment for us all. And health tech, such as virus or bacterial detection technologies. Property tech, like occupancy behavior or building health. And cold chain tech, like food freshness management technologies. We provide air conditioning systems from residential to industrial buildings and marine containers as well as infrastructure. And we'd like to create new business through open innovation with those technologies. So please bring your ideas or technologies to us. Well, that's it from us. We are always open and excited to learn about new tech and business opportunities. So let's talk. You can contact via email, visit our website, our LinkedIn page. By the way, please follow us. And we are located in South Bay area, but we are more than happy to reach you anywhere on the earth. Crossing our fingers for fast recovery from COVID-19. Thanks, but folks, please, please, please stay safe and healthy. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Haruka. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. No, thanks for the presentation. And I have a few questions coming in here, so I'll jump right in. First one, what does Daikin value in collaboration, and what are the selection points for the startups?
Yes, thank you for the question. That is a very good question. We'd like to collaborate with a company that has something shines and excels compared to other companies. And of course, we will check the compatibility with Daikin's business and the superiority of technologies, but we also check whether there is an attitude and passion to create something new together or not. Yeah.
Perfect. No, understood. And a couple questions around the Daikin challenge. I guess one, what is a special, unique point, of the Daikin challenge, and do you also engage in POCs with startups outside of the Daikin challenge?
Yes. Yes. For first question, our unique point of Daikin challenge is to increase the possibility of commercialization. Our executives from business units attend the whole process of our selection process, so we can improve the possibility of commercialization. It's a unique point of Daikin challenge, I think. And the next question, we have the POC outside the Daikin challenge. Yeah. Yes, my answer is yes. Outside the Daikin challenge, we did POCs with startups. Yes.
Okay. No, fantastic. And
Mhm.
question kind of related to what's going on with COVID-19.
Mhm.
What air quality solutions are you looking at in light of the current virus situation?
Yeah, at first, the virus detection technologies were in mind, but various kind of technologies uh, is welcome for us.
All right. Yeah, I think it's a unique spot that Daikin's in, being kind of in the air business, and having this virus being transmitted so much through the air, in other ways. But
Yeah.
I think one last question here that I wanted to ask you is there going to be another formal call out to the startups? So I think any planned Daikin challenges in the future.
Mhm.
Has Daikin invested in any of the 6 startups from the past Daikin challenge?
Mm, so for the next Daikin challenge, we are now just planning the next plan. So we will announce it when it's decided. And so the next question, the second question is.
If you had invested in any of the last 6 companies from the last Daikin challenge.
Yeah. Uh, yes, some successful cases. We supported the finance in terms of finance for the startups, but well, we cannot tell the details. I'm sorry, but it's a little confidential.
No problem. Hopefully good secrets. Awesome. Well, Haruka, thank you so much for your time, and thanks for the questions and answers too.
Okay, thank you so much.
Perfect. And up next, I want to kick it off to
Hi
Antonio
everyone,
with
my name is
Oerlikon.
Antonio Calvosa. I'm Director of Group Strategy at Oerlikon. It's a pleasure to present our company to you. And before that, hope you guys are all well, given the current situation. We are a global industrial high-tech group, 2.6 billion sales globally, basically around 2 major businesses or segments. Segment number 1, Surface Solution segment, 1.5 billion. Segment number 2, Man-made fibers, 1.1 billion. We are present in under 75 locations in 37 countries globally. And we have more than 10,000 employees in all regions and R&D in all continents. Oerlikon really unique. It's a core capability in advanced materials. And we apply those advanced materials to create functional surfaces, to create high performance components with additive manufacturing, and to process polymer-based compounds to create the textiles that we have around us and that are high performance polymer-based materials. To do this, we also use a variety of business models and are able to integrate those innovations that you bring from additive manufacturing to Internet of Things to artificial intelligence. The beauty of our business is that we provide solutions to a number of attractive end markets. In aerospace, for example, we provide materials, coatings, additive manufacturing, and classical parts for aero engines. And we also work on the decorative elements for the interiors of the aircraft. Now, just to give some examples, our coatings provide high temperature resistance to aero engines, therefore making the flight more efficient. And they also provide more reliable and long-lasting solutions for landing gears, therefore making flight safer. These are just some examples, and I'll walk you through a number of other examples in other end markets.
Another attractive market is automotive, where 5 out of the top 10 world car manufacturers are our customers. And they use our materials, coating solutions to drive down fuel consumption and increase lifetime of components. Also to drive aesthetics of the human machine interfaces, and at the same time also to additive manufacturing, increase personalization. Oerlikon also touches a number of additional end markets, including medical, consumer goods, food and packaging, and engineering. So in medicals, for example, we provide coatings for surgical tools. We also provide materials and technologies to coat implants. And we also manufacture implants as subcontractors, whether in a traditional way or with additive manufacturing.
The second pillar of our business is what we call man-made fibers. This business, it's all around polymers and equipment. So we produce equipment of the size of 20 football fields that our customers buy and use to manufacture the polyester yarns and the polyester chips and other plastic products that are then used in our shirts, in our textile, in our wrinkle-free shirts, in our diapers, as well in packaging solutions. Our man-made fiber business is at the forefront of technology and sustainability. So we look at ways of how to take polymers out of the environment, so recycle the textile, and at the same time we create new classes of materials. For example, the non-woven products that are used in masks, and the quality of such non-woven drives the efficiency of the masks. So if a mask feels very well, that's also thanks to Oerlikon technology. And our customers use our equipment to produce non-woven, and Oerlikon, given the special situation since end of March, is opening the laboratory facility that we had in our plant, normally used for research and development. And now we produce non-wovens for the manufacturer of masks. And we do that free of charge for those who also produce masks free of charge. Innovation is at the core of what we do at Oerlikon. Our customers are innovators, and we, to support our customers, we need to innovate. So we have put in place a culture for innovation. We have skills and resources to support this innovation. At the same time, we have teams working on new business initiatives and on new business models for growth. And we also created a digital hub to support integration of new technologies, from IoT to big data and others that we use an accelerator.
One example over the last 1-2 years has been the creation of the additive manufacturing business unit. We have acquired a small company, we have built around that, and we are now together producing materials and additive manufacturing parts globally, partnering with global OEMs on all end markets to produce high precision, complex parts that benefit the overall industry. So we do not only acquire companies, although we have been doing that consistently over the last 5-6 years with 2, 3, 4 acquisitions a year, but we also have a large variety of tools to drive innovation, including open innovation, hackathons through our digital hub, as well as commercial and R&D partnerships, which can take the form of joint research projects or equity investments into strategic partners. I'm going to give you examples of recent engagements with startups. So we have worked together on IoT platforms, on e-commerce platforms, on creation of a 3D printing business, both for materials and parts production. At the same time, we have acquired artificial intelligence capabilities to change the paradigm of how you create materials today. These are just some examples of technologies and things that we do together with startups, and we look forward to doing more with you. So let's get together to create those innovative industrial solutions for a better life. As you've seen by now, we work on materials, we apply these materials onto coatings, or we make high performance products, such as additive manufacturing parts or other sophisticated machining parts. And all these solutions end up in attractive markets, from aerospace, aero engine, to medical and implants, to transportation and cars or tools, just to give a few examples. Now, on the other part of our business, we also process polymers that end up in all the textiles that we have around us, both in other applications, from diapers to masks. And we also look at sustainable solutions to recycle these materials for a bright, sustainable world. And for all these, we do need innovation in materials, but we also need to use IoT, we need to use artificial intelligence, we need to use all computational technologies and sensors to basically innovate and boost productivity into these fields. And we also invest into megatrends. So we look at solutions for tomorrow for our customers. We look at e-mobility, we look at new production solutions such as future of additive manufacturing. We look at IoT and how this can generate new business models. So really excited to discuss with you and work with you in the partnerships, in collaborations, in commercial agreements or R&D agreements, at the same time, equity investments and acquisitions. And we have all set of collaboration tools, as you have seen, to work with you and work together. So thanks all of you, plug and play, and let's join forces to bring innovation to market. And now open for questions. Thank you, guys.
Fantastic, and thank you so much, Antonio. And I think Antonio today is coming to us from kind of the farthest distance. Antonio, you're based in, was it Switzerland, I believe?
That's right. Hi, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks so much for taking the time. I'll jump in with a few questions here. And I think one of them is, really just looking on a long-term horizon, say the next 10 years, what are some of the big breakthroughs you're hoping to see and to make in the material space? I think, Antonio, you just jumped on mute there. Sorry, we can't hear you.
All right. Hi, guys. So we do believe that there are new process technologies that are coming to market, such as additive manufacturing, and therefore we will be able to process new classes of materials that we could not process until today with more classical methodologies. And to do this, we need to be able to formulate new compounds, and we also need to do this in a faster way than in the past. Therefore, we have, in the same way biotech does versus the pharma, we've acquired artificial intelligence tool sets, and we're further working on that to basically be faster to refine those types of compounds that we want to test. Additionally, because additive manufacturing goes a long way on many applications, lightweight, body integration, all those classes of components become more viable, right?
Fantastic. And I think some of those materials, there's a question around nanoparticles. Is that something that Oerlikon is also dealing with?
Yes, to some extent, yes. There are many nanoparticles you can put on surfaces that provide, for example, antibacterial properties. That's a key topic in hospitals, right? How do you avoid that hospital beds do not contaminate the environment? So antibacterial properties is one of these, just to give an example, right? There are things on how you could clean up the screen with a compound that lasts longer than what you have on the market. These are just examples.
Gotcha. And a few questions around kind of the IoT platform that you mentioned. Could you explain some of the use cases for the IoT platform? The initiative?
Yes. Yeah, sure, guys. So look, we work on materials, so we transform these materials. We sell these materials as material powders. We also sell the technology to apply these materials, and we work as every company does with customers. Along these three buckets, we do need the IoT solutions. So we need the IoT solutions to understand how a material is processed, and we currently are running pilots in our major plants to track materials, so that the customer can actually see where its lot is, but at the same time also optimize our production. We are also trying to connect our equipment that our customers buy to apply these materials, so that they get integrated in the plants. At the same time, we can do predictive maintenance and other business models. Last but not least, also in our man-made fiber business, we have we are offering installation of the size of 20 football fields. So you understand the location and real-time location is really important. And also that type of business is catered also to a lot of emerging markets and applications. Everybody needs a new textile at one point or the other. And therefore, we also need to be able to provide the uptime or whatever, quality improvement that we can make is massive, right, versus these economies.
No, understood. Yeah. Well, a lot of great use cases there. And another question coming in around kind of, has the influx of mass creations affected your core business? I know you touched upon a little bit what Oerlikon is doing due to the COVID-19. Maybe you can talk a little bit about those initiatives as well.
Yeah, sure. Look, I mean, we are one of the top 2 or 3 providers of equipment to provide the critical material that is used in masks, non-woven. However, these are really long-term projects, right? You're not going to ramp up production in, it takes a year or, in that ratio. However, you can help your customers to optimize their ramp up faster than what they've already installed. And at the same time, you can actually help find the right formulations on how to really optimize the equipment that you have. Because on this equipment, you may be able to run different classes of materials. And this different formulation allow you to actually improve, the layer which is in the middle. You can think of a mask being a sandwich. In the middle, there is a key active layer that really increases filtration. And what we're trying to do is to actually optimize the recipe to increase the efficiency of that layer in terms of filtration.
Got it. No, definitely. I mean, hats off to you and all the other companies trying to help during this cause. Awesome, Antonio. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for I'll say across the water there. I really appreciate it, and thanks to all the presenters. Again, thank you guys for your time and your time. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Open for any connection you want to make afterwards. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Perfect. Thanks. All right, guys. So that kind of wraps up today's session here for our reverse pitch. Again, we'll have 2 more of these sessions next Wednesday, same time, focused around mobility, and then Wednesday after focused on energy. And so I'll leave here with kind of this last slide with some of these upcoming events. Please feel free to reach out to myself or anyone at Plug and Play if you're interested to learn more about them. I do invite all of you guys to check out our new landing page on our website around COVID-19. A lot of great resources there. I definitely recommend checking it out, seeing some new technologies that are affecting either on the health side or the enterprise supply chain side for the different businesses that are being affected, as well as hearing from different industry leaders about how their company is being affected with this change and what they're doing about it. I think looking over my notes, I think I kind of covered it here. So again, thank you so much everyone for your time. Really appreciate it. Stay safe out there. Remember to wash your hands, and until next time, we'll see you again. Thanks.